Wassalamu alaikum Jamal. Good afternoon. Welcome to Honor Politics. As you come in, please like, share, and subscribe. The allegations surrounding the disappearance of the 3.4 billion COVID-19 loan obtained by Nigeria from the International Monetary Fund in April 2020 stem primarily from a 2020 annual audited report by Nigerian Auditor-General of the Federation. The report published in 2024 claimed that the 3.4 billion loan disbursed under the IMF Rapid Financing Instrument RFI to address the pandemic to address the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic and collapsing oil price was missing, diverted, or unaccounted for. Below is a detailed examination of these allegations based on available information, including the legal and public response they have triggered. So this money where the media and the administration of Bola Tinubu is celebrating. Well, rightly so. I mean, IAF is giving them a boost. IAF is tagging, seeing it as a financial physical responsibility. So it is a plus. It is a nod for me as far as I'm concerned. 2027 is a sure banker. I mean, this is those who run the economy of the country. Those where they give them money to buy jeep, build a house, do all sorts of whatever we are doing right now. I said, yes, you are doing well. We'll give you more. So, regardless of what anybody thinks, it's of no use. But it's also important for us to ask this money we then collect. This was during Buhari time anyway. But a report, this auditor general report, and the allegation and the civil society outcry and the lawsuit was under Buhari, under Tinubu last month. So when everything came out, they presented to the Bola Tinubu administration that okay, this is how the 3.4 billion was spent. And there's no way we could trace or account for. There's no document to show, no receipt, no trace, nothing. But still, there were no arrests, no investigation, nothing. But instead, Bola Tinubu went ahead and take care of the bill. Now, it only means two things. Is that Bola Tinubu hold the reports to his chest and go begin it down to the those involved as a war riot when the time come for election. When we are approaching the real time, we just say, come on, this is how we this that money, that COVID-19 money, that 3.4 billion. We find out say 200 enter your account. How far? This is my own conclusion. Because or he was is also implicated in the chopping the money. I mean through his food soldiers. A lot of his boys and men and women serve under Buhari administration too. So that could be another reason why the guy just say fuck it and decide to move ahead and still pay it. After all, that will give him a good standing in the West where it matters most in terms of getting more money or helping them with technology to win the election smoothly. Anyway, Auditor General foundings the 2020 auditor report stated there was no information or no document to justify the movement or expenditure of the 3.4 billion dollar loan. It suggested the funds may have been mismanaged, diverted, or stolen, constituting a grave violation of policy, public trust, and Nigerian obligation under anti-corruption law and international convention, such as the United Nations Against Corruption. The Auditor General recommended recovering the funds, remitting them to the public treasury, and sanctioning those responsible with evidence of recovery to be forwarded to the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee. Well, as I said, maybe Tinubu keep the record close to his chest, and at the right time, he will read down to the people who are found wanted. As a riot act, you either support me or bring out that bar. Either way, he holds the cards. Lack of transparency. The report also highlighted the lack of documentation on how the funds were spent, despite commitments made by Nigerian government to the IMF for transparency. Those people don't give a concern them. Oh, shit. They don't give a fuck, man. So far, you pay them back with interest. That's what matters. And you pay them at the appropriate time, the right time. You can come back. How the funds were spent, despite commitment by the Nigerian government to the IMF for transparency. This commitment include publishing monthly COVID-19 spending reports on the Open Treasury portal, disclosing procurement plans, and conducting independent audits of crisis-related spending. Civil society group, including Oxfam and Transparency International, noted gaps in implementing this measure. With no beneficial ownership, information forwarded, contracts, or detailed expenditure records as of March 2021. Public impact concerns. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, that is SERAP, argue that servicing a loan that is allegedly missing represents double jeopardy. That is the grammar. All una self collect part of the 3.4 billion. That's for sure. Media collect, everybody collect. If they want trade that money, everybody collect for that money. Anyway, for Nigeria, who neither benefited from the intended project nor saw improvement in healthcare or economic relief, yet are burdened with repaying the loan and its interest. We don't pay the loan already now. We did a celebration. The interest we go pay am $30 million dollars every fucking year. That's a good bar. Imagine they put $30 million every year into tech sector or education or just focus on one sector. They put that kind of money every year for the next 4 years anyway. They are going to pay till 2019. That part is missing in their narrative and the media. 30 million per annum till 2029. My bad. So 4 years from now, they will see they pay am. So even after Tinubu, if you lose 2027, he will consider the pay am, which one of the ways making you lose. This is why we IMF the booster in ego, and they put a good statistic. Imagine, see as these people they behave. About 48 hours ago, they brought out a report that 70% of Nigeria are dying in poverty, right? Then immediately Bola Tinubu bring out $15 million to start disburse into the poor people there. 15 million households, as I said. Then followed by this news that he has paid bill as a good boy. Don't get more. The loan repayment completed in May 2025 included principal repayments and ongoing special drawing rights (SDR), charge of re- charge of approximately 30 million annually through 2029.
Legal advocacy response. SERAP lawsuit in February 2024, that was last year. SERAP filed a lawsuit, FHC slash ABJ slash CS, you know how they do those, their lawsuit number, at the Federal High Court in Abuja against President Bola Tinubu, urging him to prove the allegation, prosecute those responsible, and recover the missing funds. Okay, oh, he has heard. Don't hear una. Cited Nigerian obligation under the Nigerian Constitution, National Anti-Corruption Law, and International Corruption Convention, the suit named the Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi as a respondent and argue that failing to investigate would exacerbate Nigerian debt burden and perpetuate impunity. I don't know about that though. Everybody seems to be happy. I mean, both those who are involved in the loan, the givers and the receiver, and the spender. I cannot celebrate it, so I don't get it. Civil society pressure. The man who they lead in civil, who they finance the civil society is now in power. I don't know where. Okay, let's hear them out. Civil society pressure. Civil society organization, including Osfam and the Society Legislative Advocacy Center, call for greater transparency in the loans issue when it was disbursed in 2020. They urge the creation of civil society networks to monitor and disbursements, emphasizing the need to prioritize health spending and social economic safety nets. Report. Well, they don't use another grammar now. They form the new one, so they are sure they are not. They are sure of not. They are sure of success in terms of disbursement. Hence, the opening of bank accounts to innocent Nigerians, so they can bridge they can their alleviate them from poverty. Right? You need to open bank account for every household, 25,000 every month, and by so doing, in the next 2 years, they will be now classified as what? Middle class. They will be of poverty. Now, so China take do am. China collect money for IMF and World Bank, begin share for their citizens. And guess what? Today they are they are flexing. Is it that awesome? Ah, our matter is to laugh. Anyway, Nigeria's National Bureau of Statistics in 2020 indicated that only 12.5% of the poorest household receive food assistance, suggesting the fund did not reach intended beneficiaries. Auditor General recommendations. The Auditor General demanded that the suspected perpetrator be handed over to anti-corruption agencies such as the Economic and Financial Crime Commission and that the funds be recovered. However, as of May 2025, no public evidence indicates that this recommendation have been acted upon. Are you blind? Uh-uh. What do you mean they are not appointed upon? They don't pay the debt finish. Now you see they look for waiting no day. They don't pay the debt finish. I need to collect another one. Another one is already guaranteed. They don't pay some self. After all, 500 has been given for nutrition and kilompe, financial inclusion. Share part of it and give children 1 square meal or 2 square meal. That is nutrition provision. Isn't that wonderful? Ah, ah, public and political reaction, sentiments, people they react are really claiming the funds were stolen by politicians and funded back to the West through property purchase, though no evidence supports this. Any allegation, any conclusion around that people, anybody, anything where you where you conclude on this. All right. If we didn't use the money, re-elect themselves, fucking right. Meanwhile, let's go to Mogo
From
Borono.
Borno State. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this all very important issue that is on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, in my contribution to what Honorable Satomi Ahmed has presented as a motion on the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks is contradicting. Some quarters were saying that the fire outbreak
can you sit down, please?
is as a result of Boko Haram attack.
Can you sit down, please?
We're given the impression that a fire outbreak came as a result of either a power surge or whatever within the barracks. Because on that particular day, there hasn't been any Boko Haram attack in Maiduguri. And Mr. Speaker, from March to this time, in my own constituency, Mr. Speaker, in Wulgo, there has been a Boko Haram attack on military formation of the Multinational Joint Task Force where more than 20 soldiers were killed. And Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know that I visited that formation and the commander told me that out of about nearly 100 soldiers in that formation, we have only 6 Nigerian soldiers. And it is a multinational joint task force where we expect to have, if not equal number, at least substantive number of Nigerian military men in that formation. And again, Mr. Speaker, the commanding officer of that formation revealed and confessed that it wasn't the first or the second time that formation has been attacked, but on that very day, that was on the 24th of March, 2025, that attack was unprecedented. Because, as rightly mentioned by my brother Honorable Jaha, the insurgents came to that formation, attacked the formation with drones, and he told me, he confessed that even within the Boko Haram insurgents that came, there has been several white men within them. He said so. And that means there is foreign influence in that area. And Mr. Speaker, another issue of concern for this House is that with the exit of Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali from ECOWAS, it has also posed a lot of threat, especially at the borders of Malampatori and other borders bordering Niger and Nigeria. Because if there is no synergy, this insurgency will pose several threats to the country, not only to Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to bring to not only to Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to bring to the notice of this House that military should look at how they are going to strategize